Only thing is that I'm afraid that the hardline policy which Iran was pursuing when Raisi was president, vis-a-vis,
Hmm.
you know, hijab and things like
Yeah,
that,
right.
that I'm
Hmm.
afraid will continue. And they will elect a new president within 50 days.
Hello and welcome. You're watching this special broadcast on One India. Well, the developments in the Middle East are something that the world could not help but take note of. The death of Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi is something that has thrown not just the Middle East, but also the western part of the world into a tizzy. Now, to discuss the matters further, how critical it is as of now, and how the global dynamics, the internal dynamics of Iran change, to discuss that further, we are joined by former diplomat, Mr. K.P. Fabian. And Ambassador Fabian has served in the Indian Foreign Service between 1964 and 2000, during which he has spent time. He was posted to Madagascar, Austria, Iran, Sri Lanka, Canada, Finland, Qatar, and Italy. Ambassador Fabian, thank you so much for taking out for One India. We welcome you here, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
Glad to be with you.
Same here, sir. Thank you. So we are meeting at a time when, obviously, far away from India, the geopolitics is taking a different shape altogether. Initially, it was Russia-Ukraine war. Then came your Israel and the Gaza conflict. Then Israel versus Iran, and now this sudden air crash. What impact will Raisi's death, in your opinion, will have on Iran's strategic relations? With allies like Russia, for that matter, to which Iran has supplied a lot of arms and ammunition, quote unquote, given that Raisi's administration's military support through drone supplies was paramount. And how might this affect the war in Ukraine?
Thank you. I do not think there will be any change in Iran's foreign policy per se, and especially to your specific question, Iran's policy towards Russia, because
Mm-hmm.
foreign policy is decided not by the president, it is decided by Ayatollah Khamenei, which
Right.
is the supreme leader. And
Mm-hmm.
in this case, as you know, Mohammad Mokbar,
Mm-hmm.
he is the
Next.
interim president. Mhm.
Yes.
He was vice president, first vice
Mhm.
president, and now he is interim president.
True.
He is the one who did go to Moscow and discussed in detail the
Hmm.
military support which Iran can give.
Okay.
So, in any case, as I said, policy is decided by Ayatollah Khamenei, and that is
Mhm.
that. That is that.
Right, right.
And
Absolutely.
Putin has been one of the first to call, telephone
Mhm.
the interim president.
Right. Yes, sir. That is one of the key issues also. Vis-a-vis, if we talk about, the brokering of a rapprochement between Iran and Saudi Arabia, where China helped it, how important it is for India also to keep an eye on the developing matters? Because, in your opinion, how might Raisi's death impact this delicate dynamic, if I may say so, and Beijing's growing influence in the Gulf region?
Yes, I mean, the Gulf region is, well, to put it mildly, is in turmoil, that West
Hmm.
Asia region, rather. Now,
Hmm.
I do not think, first of all, Khamenei has said to his people not to worry, security of Iran
Hmm.
will be taken care of. And the Iranian system will recover from the shock, quite an unprecedented shock. The president, the foreign minister, and others dying, in
Hmm.
a helicopter accident. But they will recover. And only thing is that I'm afraid that the hardline policy which Iran was pursuing when Raisi was president, vis-a-vis, you
Hmm.
know, hijab and things like
Yeah,
that,
right.
that I'm afraid
Hmm.
will continue. And
Right.
they will elect a new president within 50 days. But as I said,
Hmm.
it is not the president that matters. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So tracking, the role of the United States in the region, it dates back at least 7 to 8 years when Raisi had, I remember, accelerated Iran's nuclear program after the US withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal. And what challenges and opportunities does this sad demise, if I may say, present for the reviving of the nuclear talks and potential cooperation with the West, as far as Iran is concerned?
Well, let me put it this way. It was President Trump
Mhm,
who in 2018 just walked out of the Iran
yeah.
nuclear deal, as we all remember. And sanctions were
Mhm,
imposed on Iran. And initially, Europeans said that they would find a mechanism to continue to do business with Iran. And Europeans grew
mhm,
cold feet. They didn't want to say no to United States. And Iran sanctions on Iran were reinstated. Sanctions not only by America but also by others. All those who signed
mhm,
that deal,
mhm,
except Russia and China. And at that time, Russia and China and Iran got closer economically, diplomatically,
mhm.
and if I may say so, geopolitically. You see, that
Right.
is what has happened, and that's this important development, which I'm afraid, it has not been given enough
Mhm.
importance in the West by the think tanks
Right.
and the government.
Ambassador Fabian, one final question before I let you go. Iran has found itself at the center of controversy for its very stringent Islamic laws, also the moral police that they have. And Raisi himself had taken a very hardline stance against a woman life freedom protest movement, the Masha Amini movement that happened in 2022 post her death. Now, with the demise of the leader, what are the prospects for the new leadership within the country addressing the demands for social and political reforms in Iran?
Well, let us hope that they would like to address it, and if they want to address it, it
Mhm.
will have to be done rather, what shall I say, tactfully. Because don't forget,
Okay.
while those policies, you remember the death in custody of Mahsa Amini, a young
Right.
girl,
Absolutely.
21,
2022.
22, because she went without
Hmm.
hijab and all that. You know what I mean? And then how many were killed
Yeah.
thereafter? So now I consider such
Yes.
policies cruel, foolish, and absolutely
Hmm.
not acceptable. But, but I have to
Hmm.
recognize that there is a section in the Iranian population which supports that. And
Hmm.
in the recent by-elections, these hardline conservatives, they got
Hmm.
elected. So that is why I said it has to be
True.
done tactfully. But it is something which the supreme leader can do if he
Mhm.
wishes.
Right, Ambassador KP Fabian there. Thank you so much for speaking to One India. We won't take much of your time, but we really appreciate your insights and inputs here on the show. Thanks for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Subscribe to One India channel and never miss an update.